I think people don't really think about it. They don't really realize it gives people a chance at life.
Regrettably, Alberta is not a national leader in organ transplantation for deceased donor. We're approximately 2/3 of the national average.
There wasn't really an option of not having one. I mean, if she didn't get one, she wouldn't have made it to one. So it means everything. They figured out there was something wrong with her liver by day 3. Biliary atresia. It's a liver disease basically where the bile ducts are absent or clogged or scar up, so there's no bile flow happening to the liver. Naomi was officially diagnosed at 5.5 weeks in December 2014.
We were scared when we found out she needed the organ donation, but we didn't know how difficult it would be to find an organ donor.
Probably the biggest surprise was how fast it turned into. So 3 months is up, she needs a liver transplant, you're going to do the assessment in Edmonton. We came to Edmonton because they only do pediatric liver transplants at the Stollery, so everyone in Western Canada comes to Edmonton.
The Stollery has been a leader in organ transplantation now for 25 years. We're pleased to be able to provide an excellent service to children across Western Canada and the North. The number of patients who are waiting for organ transplantation when you take adults and pediatrics is well into the hundreds.
It was told that Curtis would be highly unlikely to even remotely be a match and that I might be, but they would have to do a couple CT scans and MRIs. My liver was still a little bit too big. Once we found out that we were too big to be a donor, my mom went on to her Facebook page and tried to put a call out and see if there was anyone else who would be able to come forward to be a donor. After talking to a couple other families in Toronto who had done the same with a lot of success, I guess Toronto has an anonymous donor or directed anonymous donor program, and we didn't know at the time that pretty much none of the other provinces do.
We were kind of upset because we were thinking that we were running out of options. She wouldn't live past probably 1 or 2 if she didn't have someone come forward and donate for her. It basically gave her a chance at life.
I know the Carlo family when I lived in BC, and they're now our neighbors. The grin that Naomi makes with her little chubby cheeks, she looks very mischievous. My mother sent me a text message and she said, "Would you like to donate your liver to somebody?" And I said, yes, you know, half joking. Then she told me it was her friend Meredith's baby, and I was like, yes again. And I just realized that she's a kid and she deserves to live. My friend Meredith deserves to be a mother. That was really it, just like I have the opportunity. It's 2 months of my life and the rest of hers. This is Naomi in May, the beginning of May, and her stomach was still really big and very yellow. This was probably around the time that I was starting all of my tests. The tests that I had to do to see if I was a donor were a lot of blood work and an ECG, ultrasounds, even a social worker meeting just to make sure that I was of sound mind.
Really exciting when they came and said that they had a date scheduled and that the donor's liver would work out for Naomi.
This is me and Naomi probably about an hour before the surgery. So they got us together, about 10 of us in a room, and then it was right before just her and I had to go into the operating rooms. Really didn't hit me until right before the surgery when they make you put on the gown. We took pictures of me and Naomi on the bed right before they separated us. So that's when it started to get a little scary. After the surgery, I went on her Facebook page a couple times a day, and just the people that mentioned me in the comments was really, really sweet. They were saying things like, "You're a hero," and when you hear people call you a hero all the time for like 2 weeks straight, you like realize the gravity of what you did, and it's definitely life-changing.
You're silly.
Since the surgery, Naomi's been doing pretty good. Once she got out of the PICU, she has been improving daily basically, and I mean, you look at her now and she looks amazing. When she's dressed, you couldn't even tell she had a surgery.
It's been 7 weeks since the surgery. My recovery is going really well, and there's pretty much no pain, and the swelling's gone, and the scar is slowly healing.
Naomi having her liver transplant means that she actually has that chance to having a pretty normal life and growing up and doing all the things that she wants to do.
If it wasn't for the donor, then Naomi wouldn't be alive, so we're really thankful for her coming forward.
I don't think I've come to realize how big of a thing that I did is really. Probably in the next 10 years when she's growing up, I think then I'll be like, I saved that person. I would suggest to someone who is considering being a donor or giving blood just to think about what they can do. We can heal other people with our own bodies.
I think people just be a little bit more aware of the need, and not just organ donation, but donating blood doesn't take very much time, and you could save somebody like Naomi.